birt is an Eclipse-based open-source reporting platform for server, desktop, and web-based applications. birt report engine is embedded on Lycia system. When you install your application software, you also install the birt report engine. In this lesson, we will learn how to connect to a database via JDBC driver, work with data sources and datasets, create a simple report. Let's now switch to Lycia Studio. I am opening a simple report that we will learn to create later. We will now review a report design perspective. birt has two main components, a visual report designer and runtime components that you can deploy to your application server. Report design perspective contains the tools needed for creating the report from scratch. As a result, you get a standard birt XML report that can be deployed using the birt engine. Report design perspective includes the following views. Palette contains the birt visual report elements such as labels, tables, charts, and other, and is used to design the reports along with the layout view. Data Explorer organizes your data sources, connections, and datasets queries. Resource Explorer view lists all source files within the resource folder. Navigator is designed to navigating through projects. The Outline view provides a compact overview of your entire report structure. Property Editor presents the most commonly used properties in a convenient format for modifying the report itself. Layout view is the editor that provides drag-and-drop creation of the presentation portion of your report. We will now start working on simple birt report creation. This is going to be an invoice with parameter that can be chosen dynamically. Data Explorer view contains the references to the data sources and datasets and to other sources of information used to create the report. Let's connect to a database. I will create new example report. Let's choose File, New, Report, and set its name. And put it into our project source. We are going to use Informix and IBM JDBC driver in this example. So I will choose the data source, New, and choose JDBC data source. Let's choose the library that will be used in our report. Here it is, let's add it. And now we will specify the driver class and the reference to our database. Username, password, and test the connection. Connection was successful. Now, when we are connected to the database, we need to create the datasets that will be used while composing the report. Datasets element contains a query which retrieves some set of data from the data source on the basis of which the report is actually built. I'm choosing the new dataset, menu item, and setting its name. birt provides us with the drag-and-drop possibilities, therefore we can move any of available items from the list into our SQL query. I'm going to choose some company table and select everything from it. Click on Finish, and now we are able to see the output columns and preview the result. I'm going to edit our query and input some real data into it. Pay attention to a question mark in query body. It means that we are going to use the parameter here, and it's not set yet as we will pass it at runtime. Let's leave it empty by now. Okay. I'm going to add several additional data sets. Let's leave this parameter empty as well and start creating the report parameter. Okay, first let's take a look at the dataset that was created for our parameter. As you can see, the SQL query here serves to select the invoice IDs. After creation, we will link this parameter to our datasets. I will now create the report parameter by choosing new parameter and give it name. The prompt text will be input the parameter, and I will choose the combo box to be able to select from several parameters. The dataset is 4 parameter. Value column will be invoice ID, the display text invoice ID, and let's select the default value. Let it be 1001 and sort it by invoice ID ascending. Okay, here is our parameter. Now let's link it to our datasets. It will be linked to 3 datasets. First one is dataset year total. And as our parameter has already been prepared, we can just simply choose it from the list. Yes. And click OK. Now we've got the parameter here, which is linked to our invoice ID. Clicking OK and do the same to the other data sets. Choosing the invoice ID. Okay. Now, after we've got the database connection, necessary data and parameter, we can start designing the report. Let's open Palette Perspective and choose the container, which will be a grid. birt proposes us to select the number of columns, which will be 1, and number of rows will be 4. Okay. Please pay attention that all the changes are reflected in the outline panel in report body. Here is our grid with 4 rows. Now let's include another one grid into the first row. This grid will consist of 2 rows and 3 cells. And now I will include 2 labels into each cell and the image into the 3rd cell. This will be embedded image. Here it is. It's Lisa's logo. Let's resize it. And now let's input the text into our labels. There will be the sales order, invoice, And now I will insert several tables into our cells. This will be the table consisting of one column and 5 rows. Okay. Another one table, one column and 4 rows, and another one table, one column and 3 rows. Let's now add labels in the headers of our table. This will be billing address, contact, and ship to. Now I will add the data into the table. We're going to use dataset sample 1, company name, company address, company city, zip, and country. For the first table, now contact first name, last name, phone, and fax. And now the third table, repeating the company name, delivery addresses. Okay, saving the report. Now I will add another one grid into the next row. This grid will consist of 2 columns and 1 row. Adding the label into the first cell. This will be invoice number and the data, invoice ID. Okay, the next grid. This grid will consist of 6 columns and 2 rows. Let's add the labels. Item ID, quantity, item cost, item description, item text, and the last one for the line total. Now I will add the data from the dataset sample 2. This will be the stock ID, quantity, item cost, item description, item text, and we'll leave the line total blank by now. Now the next grid. This grid will contain 3 columns and 2 rows. Inserting the label into the first cell, total amount, and the exchange rate. Now we need to input the data into our grid. This will be the exchange rate and the euro total. What we're gonna need to do next is to add the line total and total amount values. These values are not among our data, so they should be computed. The formula for the line total will be simple. We're just going to summarize the result of multiplication of the quantity and the item cost and the tax. Let's edit the dataset that contains the necessary data. This will be the dataset 2. Here we find the computed columns and creating the new one and opening the expressions. BIRT expressions are really just simple scripts that return a value. Expressions are used for assigning data values to report elements, building image locations, hyperlinks, parameter default values, and many other places. As you can see, we've got the dataset sample 2 under subcategory, and we have the data that we need. I will double click on it to add it to a formula. Now tax and divide it by 100. Okay. Now we need to give this computed column a name. Let it be line total. And the data type, decimal. Click on OK. Okay, now we have the line total value, but also we need to compute the total amount. We can have several items in our invoice and we need to summarize their cost. That's why we need the total value. Let's create the new one. Total. The aggregation will be sum. We will summarize them. Here is the line total value. We're choosing it and choosing decimal data type. Okay, now we've got two computed columns under the dataset sample 2. Let's add them into our report. BIRT provides us with the ability to display the data according to custom styles. For example, we need to display the total amount in currency format with 2 decimal places. We can create a style and format numbering. Currency. Let's set the locale. English United States, 2 decimal places, and use the symbol $. Let's give this style a name. Click on OK. And as you can see, the style is applied. We can also apply it to some other value. Choosing Apply Style. And here is our US dollar. But we've got another one value which should be displayed as euros. Let's create another one style. Format as currency, 2 decimal places, and choose the euro symbol. Okay, let the locale be auto. Let's set up the formatting for the elements of our report. I'm selecting these labels by clicking on Control and mouse clicking. I'm changing the color, the font size, making it bold, changing padding, now I'm selecting the next labels. Changing the font size, setting it to bold. Okay, the data. Font size 12. Here it will be 13. And now I'd like to change the parameters of labels. Let the background color be dark blue, the font color white, and changing the font size. Let it be bold as well, and let's change the width of the columns. Should be enough. Okay. Bold as well. Let's save the report. Now I'd like to change some spaces between the rows. It can be done via properties or manually by simply dragging the grid side. Let's save our report again and run it. Here is the way our parameter look at runtime. Let's choose 1007 invoice ID, and here is our report. After watching this video, you are able to connect to a database from Lisa Studio via JDBC driver, work with data sources and datasets, and create a simpler report. Thank you for watching this video. For more information, please contact us on krx.com or via info@krx.com.